Hey Facebook family, I just wanted to pop in on this Saturday, this rainy Saturday. I actually just left church and I just want to talk to you briefly about when your season changes. You hear a lot about time management, but what I coach and what I live is priority management. And I shared with a lot of you my 14-week half marathon training. You see the schedule, but you also see where the check marks stopped around week 6. Okay? And this week on today was supposed to be an 8-mile run. And I'm sharing this with you because I've made the decision to not run the half marathon. And the reason I've made the decision is that in my quiet time, in my prayer time, and I hope you do this every day, and you ask God, what is my assignment? What am I supposed to do to serve you, to glorify you, to reflect you in all that I do and with everyone that I meet? And what came to me is that my season has changed. And before I met my husband, I used to run every morning, well, most mornings a week at 5 a.m. And I'd run on Saturdays as well. But now I'm married to someone who's leading a church. And so my priorities have changed. And so my time commitment has changed. And so running 8 miles on today, this Saturday morning, just was not a priority. And so I just want to offer this to you because sometimes I think when you find yourself saying, I don't have time, or I feel overwhelmed, or it's too much on my plate, I'll share something that my first business coach used to say to me all of the time. If there's too much on your plate, who owns the plate? You do. You own the plate. And so when you look at your priorities, my priorities have shifted. And so while I love the challenge of running a half marathon, I embrace the challenge of being who God has me to be in this season more. And so I just want to offer that to you. What is God calling you to do in this season that maybe it's really requiring you to let go of what you used to do in another season? In another season, I would have completed this half marathon list no matter what. I have an accountability partner who I was sharing this with her, and I said, it's been raining a lot and I haven't been able to run as much. And she said, oh, you impressed me as someone who would run in the rain. And hey everyone, hey Angela, hey Tanja, hey Taya. And I had to really think about it because she's right. There would have been a season where no matter what, I would have finished this 14-week half marathon training. But my season has changed. And like I said, I'm outside of our church because we had leaders training. That was our priority more than the 8 miles. And so instead of continuing to try to put pressure on myself to get up at 3 a.m., which would have been the old Cledra, get up at 3 a.m., still get my 8 miles in on the treadmill, come to this leaders meeting here at church, and still do everything that I have to do today. But then what kind of shape would I be in for God? And I just want you to ask yourself, are you feeling like it's too much because you're doing more than you're called to do in this season? So Tanja said, hey, finally caught you. Otea, hey, that's right. And so today, now that I'm leaving church, my next thing that's a priority, I'm getting a Bad Piggy cake made. You see Bad Piggy? Anybody? Okay, first of all, I didn't know who Bad Piggy was, but I'm a godmother to a little boy who's going to be 7 on Thursday. So the other big deal in my life, I'm in charge of the Bad Piggy cake. So I'm about to take this picture to the bakery to have the Bad Piggy cake made. So why am I saying all that? Not just to talk about me and the half marathon and the Bad Piggy cake in my church, but to talk about you and to say, to really ask you to look at yourself and say, has my season changed? And am I trying to fit an old season into this current season? And is that the real reason I feel overwhelmed and like there's too much to do and that I'm not doing enough? Just think about that and give yourself permission to change your mind. Give yourself permission to change your mind. Maybe you're like me, a type A person. Like I said, I would have completed this half marathon schedule no matter what, in the rain, no matter what. But why in this season? I don't have anything to prove. And then the final thing I'm going to say to you, in addition to giving yourself permission to changing your mind, is that anytime you're trying to defend, prove, or validate, then you're outside of operating in a way that it's really motivated from living in your purpose. And what I mean by that, when you're trying to prove yourself to people and you have to, seek validation from the applause from people outside of you or defend your decision, then you're stepping outside of your authentic truth, because you don't have to defend it, prove it, or seek validation when it's the truth that you've heard from God. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, Jack. Hey, Angela. She says, love this. So I'm headed off to get the Bad Piggy cake made. Bad Piggy, for the record, I guess Bad Piggy and Angry Birds are friends. So that's what my life has morphed into. And I love it. I love it. Now that I've given myself this gift, this permission this week to put this half marathon training schedule down, I'm admitting I stopped at week 5. You guys see that? And I'm not picking up next week. I'm just not doing it. I'm going to run 2 days a week, 3 to 5 miles. And then I'm going to do yoga, and I'm going to lift, and I'm going to enjoy my life. Permission to change the schedule? Check. Granted. And I hope you do the same. All right. Thank you guys for the hearts. Hey, Karen. Hey, Brett. Tunja says thanks for the encouragement. So let me know. Is it time for you to evaluate your season? Are you trying to fit in the 14-week marathon, half marathon training when God is bringing you to Bad Piggy? Has your season changed and you just haven't been willing to change it? So just think about that, in your quiet time, and let me know. Post below, or send me a private message and let me know if this resonated with you. I'd love to hear it. I'm always wanting to serve you all when I do these videos. The intent is to help you create a life you love and to share the lessons that I learned along the way that God shows me. I hope they help you. So someone else says, Angela says, it's time for me to change the season or accept the season I'm in. Amen. That is such a good point, Angela. Sometimes it is about accepting, and believe me, I actually got emotional about accepting that I wouldn't finish this. It's been 2 decades since I worked on learning to work out consistently, and the way that I did that work was to not allow myself to change my mind about making a workout commitment. And so now to be in this season where, okay, Cledra, it's okay to change your mind, is very uncomfortable, because it reminds me I don't want to be that person who doesn't have integrity with with myself. So it's a fine line, but that line, I realize I'm able to be on the right side of it when I'm changing my mind because it's for the best. When I'm changing my mind because I'm trying to renegotiate the standard to a lower level to allow myself to live in mediocrity, then that's not for the best. And that's the significant difference in knowing when to accept the season and knowing when to change a season. That's the critical difference, the motive behind it. So if I had stopped this half marathon training because, I didn't feel I could do it, or I was just becoming lazy, that's very different. But I'm making an intentional decision to stop it because I recognize that God is saying to me, Cledra, what I've called you to do now on Saturday is not run 8 and 10 miles and get it done at 3 a.m. and still go to church and still lead the women's ministry and still counsel people and still do your coaching. No, it's too much. And I have to make room for Bad Piggy cakes. I have to make room for the fun. What's it all worth if we're always on a schedule and we don't laugh? And, to have this little boy hug me is like, how does my cake look? He's all excited about his cake and it's like 6 days away. But I remember what it was like to count down to age 7. I remember that, right? So go for Bad Piggy. Include Bad Piggy in your day some kind of way. I'll have to take a picture of the cake when I finally get it done. But anyway, you guys, I hope this has blessed you. I hope it convicts you, and more importantly, encourages you to go to your quiet place and find out what's really for you right now in this season. And I promise you, I hope that you feel like I do. I feel like a weight lifted. I've honestly been feeling heavy the last weeks, and I realize I'm carrying weight that doesn't belong to me. And so when I went through exactly what I share with you right now, I feel so light this morning. I feel so much better. So anyway, Tundra said this will be a bad piggy day. Yes! Here's to the bad piggy days. All right, you guys. God bless you. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm headed to get the bad piggy cake made. All right. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to post below and let me know your key takeaway from this video. All right. God bless. Bye.